We are back again today going over the best players to invest in for Thursday's roster update here in MLB The Show 22. Yes, I did say Thursday. Holiday weekend. So we are getting all of our content a day earlier. That includes the feature program as well. I think in Market Monday, I mentioned Friday. If y'all watched that and were confused, it is coming out Thursday along with the roster update. September 1st, this is all going to drop. We got 8 names coming your way today. Now, of course, we're back on our normal roster update schedules. We don't have this massive amount of sample size that we had with during the last roster update, but we still got quite a bit this time. Definitely expect a bit of a smaller update. There's quite a few good names to talk about here. Now, of course, I can't go over everybody, and we're going to be looking at guys that have some investability. So there's definitely some solid investments that are a little bit too expensive for me already. We're going to keep things focused on players I think have a solid return on investment. There's definitely some good names I'm not going to discuss in this video. Just we don't have time to mention everybody. Y'all drop y'all's favorite ones down in the comment section below. Leave a like on the video while you're there. Let's go ahead. Let's hop into name number 1. First guy we got here is Alex Bregman. We can see looking at the card that 42 contact left and 52 power left have a ton of room to grow. So we take a look at what Bregman's doing over the last few weeks versus lefties. Over the last 30 games even, he's batting 400 versus lefties with a 450 isolated power. He's been one of the better players in baseball over the last month and a half or so. Definitely deserving of some contacts and power upgrades versus left. Easily can get him into that 81, probably possibly even pushing that 82 range right now. Maybe even a little bit of bump versus right as well. There's some room to grow there, no doubt about it. Coming in at 535. So he is coming in 135 stubs above that 80 overall quick sell value, but still under our 81 quick sell value. And I think it's a pretty solid shot that he gets up to that 81 price point. Keeping it rolling here, we got Jose Trevino, a guy that we've been on before, that we've talked about quite a bit in the past. He did get a little bit of an adjustment last roster update, but didn't go up in overall. I think this could be the one where he gets up to that 83, possibly even more than that. We can see just a +3 to his contact left, +3 power left. That is going to get him up to an 83. And we are looking at those stats versus lefties. Trevino, 500 versus lefties with a 438 isolated power over his last 30 games. Now, Trevino doesn't have the biggest sample size versus lefties, but over the last 30 days, it is still a solid handful of ABs to be batting 500 with a 438 ISO. He's super close to the 83 already as it is. He only needs a very slight bump, and he's definitely deserving of that for his versus left attributes. His contact right, power right, probably not changing anything there. Really looking at those lefty stats. If that can get him up to that 83, possibly even the 84, got an opportunity to come in here and cash in. Buy now at 900. You can buy him buy now at quick sell value. You don't have to put it in an order. That's probably just one order. I got 147 up. You know what? I'm going to take advantage of that. Buy me one more right there at quick sell value. So 900 subs a piece on these bad boys. Risk-free investment. Cannot lose coming in at that price. Next up, we got what might be one of the most under-the-radar players in baseball right now. Since the All-Star break, he has simply been one of the best players in the MLB. He's second in OPS since the All-Star break, only behind Aaron Judge in the American League. It is Nathaniel Lowe. He's been insane. His average is creeping up north of 300. His OPS is creeping up to 900. We take a look at what he's done recently. Over his last 30 days, he's coming in with a 312 batting average and a 234 isolated power versus righties. And we can see 74 contact right, 54 power right. Has so much room to grow on that, and righty attributes are actually weighted even a little bit more than our lefty attributes. So a growth there. Opportunity versus righties is going to be even more impactful than if he were to go up versus lefties, which he's already really high. Don't see that dropping at all. Lowe has been destroying the baseball recently. He's due for a pretty significant upgrade to his righty attributes, and that's going to carry his overall quite a bit up. 80 overall now, a nice upgrade versus righty, easily gets him into that 82 range. Starts to push from there. Who knows how high he can go as long as he's hitting righties. He is expensive. He's flying up the prices really quick. 630 on the sell now is quite a bit above that quick sell value, but if he gets a +2, which is certainly possible with how he's been versus righties, it gets to that 82 overall, you still have positive value in there on the quick sell value, and you're in a position to capitalize on the hype in future updates where a guy like Nathaniel Lowe got a shot at going diamond with how he's absolutely crushing the ball right now. We got to keep it in Texas here for my man Corey Seager, quietly having one of, if not the best year of his career. I think he's on pace for 5.5 WAR so far this season, while still being incredibly unlucky. I think he's underperforming his expected batting average by still 20 to 30 points, but that number is shrinking day by day by day. It feels like 64 and 55 of what Seager's coming in contact wise here on his card with the show. Yet we take a look at the last 30 days. Corey Seager 288 versus righties and 276 versus lefties. Those are very, very solid numbers for a guy who's coming in with quite a bit of power, decent enough fielding at 75, and below average contact versus right and versus left on his card. He's certainly not making contact at a below average level right now. If those can start creeping up into that 70 range, match that power right, a +3 for Seager, definitely possible long term. I think in one update, a +3 is unlikely, but a +2 to 84, a +1 to 83, very, very possible. 951 here for Seager, coming at 51 stubs above that quick sell value of our 900 on a 90 on an 82 overall, I should say. Not really too much above quick sell value for what I view as a fairly safe investment. Really strong opportunity for Seager. Honestly, even if he doesn't move from 82 this update, he's positioning himself to move up throughout the last few months of the season, or at worst case scenario, be in a position to capitalize on some high plays there. Moving on to a couple of pitchers now, we got Zach Gallen. The Zach Gallen hype train is back. He was a guy that we were invested heavily in earlier in the year. He started low, worked his way up to that mid 80s, and he kind of fell off a little bit. Well, he is back in a massive way. We've talked about him a few times before. Gallen has been insane over his last 20 and a third innings. He's only given up 9 hits, 4 walks, and probably most importantly, 24 strikeouts. When we come in and we take a look at that 61 Ks per 9 rating, there is a ton of room to grow there. That 90 hits per 9 is really carrying the overall of this Gallen card up to that 83 as it is. If you can get a slight bump to that walks per 9 and a solid jump to that Ks per 9, +1, +2, we begin to start talking about Zach Gallen becoming a diamond pitcher here at the end of the year. It will be the show 22. Price point wise, 1432. So again, above that quick sell value, but still under the 84 quick sell value. So just a +1 is securing your investment. And if he happens to go +2 in the diamond, that's all profit at that point. Probably going to be a guy, regardless of what happens this update, as one of the more hyped names going into next update. He's probably going to be next man up, so to speak, for those diamond pitchers. Those guys carry and generate a lot of hype. Those are the dudes that we get the 3,300, 3,500 the day before the update, and we can cash out on the hype before they even go up actually in the game. So Gallen 1432, above that quick sell value, but the way he's pitching right now, I still like him a ton. Next up now, we got Julio Urias, who might just be one of the most underrated pitchers in all of baseball. Not just this year, but like what he's done over the last few years at 25 years old is absolutely insane for Julio. But we take a look at what he's done recently. We can see on the card, 58 Ks per 9. He's got to strike out guys if he wants the chance to go diamond. Well, what has he done over his last 24 innings? One, he's only limited 12 hits. So definitely some room to grow there. He has given up 7 walks, so possibly a slight drop to that walks per 9 rating, but 28 strikeouts in 24 innings for a guy with a 58 Ks per 9 rating. There is some really solid room to grow there on Urias. If he can manage a slight hits per 9 bump and a slight Ks per 9 bump, it's not going to take much for him to get to 84. Honestly, not even too far away probably from getting to that 85 either. We take a look at the price point, 1380. So another guy, again, above quick sell value. We do see some inflation happening in the market right now. A lot of these golds are carrying quite a bit of price point right now, but still 180 subs above quick sell value. Not too bad at the end of the day. He's not too incredibly above that quick sell value that I don't like investing in him at all. And with that Ks per 9 bump that he should be getting, feel pretty good about him going 84 at least, possibly even sneaking up into that diamond tier. Next up, we got Luis Castillo, who has been dominant since being traded to the Mariners. Even though the Mariners gave up a haul for Castillo, he's by far looking like the best starting pitcher acquisition of the trade deadline. Castillo, we can see on his card, walks per 9, Ks per 9. He's got to limit those walks, start striking out some more guys. So we take a look at what he's done. His last 4 starts, 25 innings, 21 hits allowed over that time is a little high. It's slightly concerning that he could possibly just ever so slightly dropped that hits per nine. But 5 walks allowed over 25 innings is a really, really good rate. And 31 strikeouts over those 25 innings is immaculate as well. So any drop in that hits per nine should be offset by a solid Ks per nine, walks per nine bump. The question, of course, comes, is he going to get a big enough bump in those and limit the drop in hits per nine enough to get to that 85? I certainly think that is a possibility. You come in 15-12 on the sell now right now. So all intents and purposes, he is at quick sell value, 12 subs above it with that current highest order there on the sell now. At 1500, I like Castillo all day long. No real risk in that. He's not going to be going down. I think he's a guy who's going to reach diamond at some point this year. Just a matter of this update, maybe a future update. The way he's pitching, he's going to get there at some point. Finally, the last guy we got in this video, we are keeping it in Seattle here. Keeping this video nice and short, getting to the point and letting y'all know where to put out those subs. We got Andres Munoz. There's an argument. He's possibly been the second best reliever in baseball behind Edwin Diaz this year, especially of recent. He has been insane. We take a look at what he's done in August. 11 1/3 innings, 6 hits allowed. So certainly some hits per nine growth. Really probably his biggest area for growth. 5 walks allowed in 11 1/3 innings. That walks per nine rating is not going to be going up, unfortunately. But 23 strikeouts definitely allows us to get a bit more of a bump there on the Ks per nine. So hits per nine, Ks per nine bump. I think that should be pushing him into that gold tier, and he can start playing for that mid gold tier level of card with how dominant he's been as a reliever. Take a look at the price point, 186. If you're needing a nice budget investment, you don't have many stubs, you just need to throw something out, put a couple investments out. He got a couple thousand to work with. I like Munoz as a budget guy quite a bit. I see him getting into gold this update. Hopefully, it's going to come down to how much of a hits per nine bump is he going to get, and if he gets a Ks per nine bump, or if they see that 91 and they just leave it out there, as that is already pretty high. So there you have it. Those are the 8 names I am in on for this next roster update. Those, I think, are the best value plays right now. Of course, some other guys that probably have a higher chance to go up than these guys, but they're already a little bit more expensive. As always, y'all drop down your comments below who you're investing in for this update, and swing by one of our Twitch live streams if you have any questions about any of these players. Love chatting roster updates with you all, diving into some of the stats, things of that nature. Love doing that on our Twitch live streams, twitch.tv/Armstrong. You can find the link to that in the description below as well. And as always, y'all enjoyed this video, definitely be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Until next time, I'll catch y'all around.